Hello and welcome back to Radiantly Rooted. I'm Rachel, and today we're talking about something that I think is sitting kind of in the background of a lot of women's lives right now, and especially at this time of year. It's April, it's Stress Awareness Month, and I want to talk about stress, but not in the way that you've probably heard it talked about before. Not the tips and the hacks and the 5 things to do before bed. We want to go deeper than that today because here's what I'm noticing in the women that I work with and in the women who find their way to this podcast. It's not that they don't know they're stressed, right? It's not that they haven't tried all the things. Most of the women that I talk to are doing a lot of things right. They're moving their bodies, they're trying to sleep. Some of them are meditating or trying to. They're aware enough to know that something is off and they're still exhausted. Still wired at 10 o'clock at night when they finally sit down for the first time? Still waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning with their minds already running? Still carrying this persistent low level anxiety that never quite goes away, even on the good days. And so, if that is you, my friend, this episode is for you. Now, here's what I want to offer you today, and it's something that took me a very long time to understand in my own life. Managing stress and actually resetting your nervous system are not the same thing. Managing stress means that you've gotten good at coping. You've built a toolkit. Maybe you've got your breathing practice, your walks, your wine on Friday nights, the way you decompress after a hard day. And all those things help. Don't get me wrong, I'm not dismissing them at all. But coping is reactive. It's what you do after the stress has already happened. And if the conditions in your life keep generating the same signals over and over again, the nervous system never actually gets to rest or reset. We're just managing the output while the source keeps running, the source of all that stress. Maybe you recognize this in yourself, that exhaustion that even a good night's sleep doesn't touch, the wired feeling at 10 p.m. when you finally sit down at the end of a long day, lying wide awake at 3 o'clock in the morning with your mind racing through what you've got to get done tomorrow, trying to juggle everything, all of it, all the time, and still feeling like you're behind. Wanting more than anything not to be more productive or more optimized, but just to slow down, to remember who you are underneath all of it. That quiet, persistent, low level anxiety that rides along with you everywhere, even on really good days. And that's not a stress management problem. It's a nervous system that's been in survival mode for so long, it doesn't remember what it feels like to actually rest or reset. And today I want to talk about why that happens because I think when you understand it, something starts to shift. Your nervous system's entire job is to keep you safe, and it is extraordinarily good at that job. It's scanning the environment constantly, taking in information from your body, your relationships, your work, the thoughts running on repeat in your mind, and it's making a constant assessment. Am I safe here? Can I rest? Or do I need to stay alert? When you're living a life that doesn't fit you, a life that drains you, a pace that doesn't leave you any buffer or margin, a version of yourself that you've outgrown but haven't quite shed yet, your nervous system knows these things. Even when your mind is convincing you it's fine, that you should be grateful that other people have it harder, the body keeps score. The women that I work with, they're not imagining their exhaustion. It's one of the reasons we often start with nervous system work. They're not weak, they're not dramatic, and they're certainly not failing at self care. These are women whose nervous systems are doing exactly what nervous systems are designed to do when the life around them keeps sending signals that something's not quite right. And there's a part of you that already knows this, right? That part of you that is tired of just surviving your days and ready to actually thrive. The part that can see possibility when you get quiet enough to look for it. The part that knows possibility doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from remembering who you actually are. And I know this because I lived the other version of it for a very long time. I spent so many years in a career that looked right on paper and felt wrong in my body every single day. I was burnt out in a way that I couldn't fully see until I left. And then once I left, once my nervous system finally had permission to slow down, that's all I wanted to do. It was like it had been waiting years for that deep breath, and it was not going to be rushed. And I want to be honest with you about what that actually looked like because it didn't look like a graceful wellness transformation by any stretch of the imagination. It looked like procrastination on a level that I had never experienced before in my life. And I say that as a life coach. I know how to coach people through procrastination. I've done it so many times. But this one, it didn't want to be coached through, it wanted to be processed. My nervous system wasn't being lazy, it was healing. It was asking me to stop treating rest as something that I had to earn and start treating it as something that my body genuinely needed to survive. And that's what chronic stress does over time. It doesn't just make you tired, it rewires your relationship with rest itself. And there's no amount of productivity hacks that are going to fix that. What fixes it? What helps to soothe it? What resets it is working at the level of the whole self. So, what does it actually mean to reset your nervous system rather than just manage your stress? It means working at the level of the whole self, not just the mind, not just the body, the mind, the heart, and the soul in conversation with each other. It means daily habits that actually support your biology, not just your productivity. It means addressing the mindset patterns that keep stress response running, even when there's nothing immediate to be stressed about. Things like perfectionism, I'm raising my hand here, that belief that you have to earn rest, again, raising my own hand, been there. The chronic sense that you're behind, or that you're not enough, or that you're just one step away from dropping something important. It means the body, actual somatic practices, breath work, movement, practices that speak directly to the nervous system in its own language rather than just talking at it with positive affirmations. And it means the soul, the part of you that knows, the part that's been sending out quiet signals, maybe for years, maybe even decades, that something has to change, something's got to give, that there's a fuller, truer, more alive version of your life available to you, and you've been too busy and too tired to reach for it. Before I tell you about the reset, I want to give you something that you can use right now. Because if you've been nodding along to this episode, your nervous system might actually be activated just from that recognition of it. So let's give it a little bit of relief before we keep going. Now, this is called extended exhale breathing. Extended exhale breathing. And it's one of the simplest and most effective tools that I know for shifting your state quickly. And there's real science behind it. When your exhale is longer than your inhale, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest state, and begins to downregulate the stress response almost immediately. And so here's what I invite you to do. And you can do this right now, even if you're driving. Just be mindful of your environment. And we're going to breathe in through the nose for a count of 4. And then we're going to breathe out slowly through the mouth for a count of 8. Now, you can, of course, change this pattern to one that works for you. What you want to do is invite your exhale to be about twice as long as the in breath. So I invite you to join me, and we'll do 3 rounds together of the 4 and 8 counts. So when you're ready, you can start by emptying your breath, and then just breathe in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go ahead and offer yourself another long, slow, deep breath in. Gently let it go. And just notice how you feel. Even just a few rounds, slight softening. That's your nervous system responding. It's not a trick. That's your biology working exactly the way it was designed to work. And that is available to you anytime, anywhere for free for the rest of your life. Now, this is one of the practices in my stress reset. Breathe Again, a stress course for women. It's a whole body reset that gives you tools like this one and goes much deeper into why they work and how to build them into your actual daily life instead of just reaching for them when you're in a crisis mode. It walks you through what chronic stress is actually doing to your body and your mind, not to scare you, but because understanding what's happening underneath the surface is the first step towards changing it. It gives you daily habits that are small and sustainable and genuinely supportive. It goes into mindset because the stories that we tell ourselves are one of the most powerful drivers of the stress response, but also one of the most changeable. It brings in journaling and self care and more natural approaches to stress relief. Real tools that are grounded in both yoga philosophy and practical wellness. And it includes movement, breath work, meditation, yoga practices that work directly with your nervous system, not around it. There's also a bonus stress quiz to help you understand where you're starting from, a recipe guide, affirmations and mantras, and what I call power thoughts because words matter, along with guided meditations. It is a whole body reset. And I invite you to go check it out if something in this episode landed for you. The link will be down in the show notes, or you can visit rachelhupp.com/stress less. Now, before I let you go, I want to leave you with something. You are not doing stress management wrong. You're not failing at stress management. You are a whole, complex, deeply feeling woman who's been carrying a lot, probably for a long time, probably without enough support, and probably while also taking care of everyone else around you. The nervous system doesn't need to be fixed. It needs to be heard, to be supported. It needs the conditions to finally actually rest and reset. And you deserve to find out what your life feels like when it does. If you are in a season right now, one where something has to change, but you're not quite sure what yet, you're exactly where you need to be. And there is a way through that doesn't require you to figure it all out at once. One breath at a time. That's where we start. I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take good care of yourself. You deserve it. Thanks for listening to Radiantly Rooted with Rachel. If this episode brought you a little more clarity, grounding, or inspiration, I'd love it if you shared it with a friend or left a quick review. It really helps more women find this space and feel supported on their own path. And if you are craving more soulful support, head on over to rachelhupp.com to join my email list. That's where I send free resources, gentle guidance, and invitations to go deeper. Until next time, trust yourself and root in to what matters. Because the life you want, it starts by coming back home to you.